How's it going, Gooners? We got the belt back. We beat Diego Lopes. We are the featherweight goat. I'm sure Bedtime MMA is doing fucking flips right now. I'm sure he's so over the moon getting to see that shit live. But we're going to put this out before Bedtime MMA because we are vultures. All right, let's go ahead and start getting into this. UFC 325 just wrapped up. Volk versus Lopes. What an absolute insane performance from Alexander Volkanovski. One of his best performances to date. Better than his last performance against Diego Lopes because he didn't get dropped. I mean, there was the flash knockdown in the third, but I don't even know if you can count that as a knockdown. He got back up so damn quick, and his feet weren't fully under him whenever he got caught. So I don't even know if it was necessarily the force of the punch that did it, or just the fact that his feet weren't under him and he got caught straight in the face. So what an absolutely incredible performance from Volk. Let's just go ahead and start off with the main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Fifth round, puts him into a Boston Crab, sits on his face, fucking farts in his mouth. Diego Lopes sucks it up like a vacuum cleaner, shits out Volk's fart. Very, very dominant performance. I said that I thought Diego Lopes was going to win. That was cope. I knew in my heart of hearts, deep down all along, that Alexander Volkanovski was going to win. I was just going to be the contrarian. I took the L on that one, and I'm A-okay. I'm 0 for 2 on main events, but I'm pretty sure I did really well for the rest of the card. I got lied to about the co-main event. I said that Dan Hooker wins a 5-round fight. It wasn't a 5-rounder, so I wasn't technically wrong. I said Benoit would win a 3-rounder. He won a 3-rounder, so I'm giving myself that one, technically, because it was a 3-rounder. Even though Benoit got the finish, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So back to Volk versus Lopes. Absolute domination. I'm not upset with the 50-45. I personally had it 49-46 because I thought that what was it? The fourth round, I believe, where Lopes, no, not the fourth round. It was either the first or the third round. I can't remember which one. But one of them, I was like, okay, you kind of have to give it to Lopes on damage just because of his flurry. I think, now that I'm really thinking about it, the first and the third were pretty close. Both of those rounds were pretty close. The second round was pretty close, but it was definitely Volk's round. No. Other way around. It was this. Did I even watch the fight? I don't even know. Let's look at this strike count. Round 1, Volk. Significant strikes. Round 2. This was when Diego got the takedown. Round 3 had the flash knockdown, but didn't get counted. Round 4, and then round 5. Round 5 was definitely Volk's round. Did I even watch the fight? I'm not sure, but yeah, I did. Let's see what my notes say, because I wrote down a couple things. Whenever Volk kicked Diego in the dick in the fourth round, his face, it was really funny, because he immediately knew that he kicked him in the dick, and he went, "Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, mate, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to kick you in the bollocks." Even though that's a British guy. Volk, round 1 was really hard to judge. Round 2 was every single round was pretty hard to judge. But in my core, I had a feeling like, that was Volk's round. His shots landed a lot cleaner. His shots landed like they had a lot more, or looked like they had a lot more impact in each of the rounds. And so you just kind of have to give Volk each round, except for possibly round 3 when Diego Lopes got the flash knockdown. That's mostly how every round played out, where it was like, Volk was kind of winning each exchange. He's point fighting at range. Even though he's the short, stocky guy, he was doing a lot better job of playing the range game. And then whenever he'd come in and blitz, he was way more accurate with his punches. Diego Lopes was throwing with a lot of ferocity, but he wasn't landing shit. So I really am not upset with the 50-45. I had it 49-46 just because of round 3. But, hey, what an absolute masterclass performance from Volk. Well, let's go ahead and move on down the card. BSD versus Dan Hooker. This was sad. This was really sad. Dan Hooker was winning round 1 until that takedown at the end of the round. And then it was like, ooh, shit. BSD kind of has all the momentum. Round 2 started, and he had all the momentum carried into that round. Got to takedown. almost got the arm triangle, beat the shit out of him. There was one point in time where he had Dan Hooker's arm positioned in a really weird way and was just dropping elbow on him like 8 in a row where Dan Hooker couldn't do anything. And his arm was framed in a way against him that like it allowed Benoit to get an even cleaner shot. So it was like he was using Dan Hooker's arm to create a better frame to hit the elbows. It was really nasty, really dominant performance. Not quite like what Armin did to him, but still, Benoit absolutely slaughtered Dan Hooker. Hate to see it, you know. They need to do Dan Hooker versus Paddy Pimblett next. That's an absolute must. I really wouldn't be surprised if Benoit got a number one contenders fight after this one. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they ran Benoit versus the loser or the winner of Max versus Holloway, or Max versus Holloway. Yeah, Max versus himself. No, Max versus Oliveira too. I wouldn't be surprised if Benoit fought either guy, depending on I don't know. You know, the winner might fight Armin, the loser might fight Benoit. They might even just do it the other way around. They might be like, "Fuck you, Armin, you're fighting the loser." Benoit gets to fight the winner because he beat Dan Hooker, he beat Dariush. He's on like a 4-fight win streak right now. So very dominant second round. Dan Hooker wasn't able to do shit, got cut open. And then especially once he got taken down and the arm triangle almost got locked in, it was over. He couldn't defend himself. It was a absolutely brutal performance from Benoit Saint Denis. Bombs 19 more civilians. Kills 19 more civilians at their wedding. You know, you hate to see it, but war crimes were committed against Dan Hooker. Moving on, we've got Mauricio Rufy versus Rafael Fiziev. What a performance from Rufy. What a performance from Rufy. I got this one wrong as well. I did not think that Rufy was going to have it. I thought that Fiziev was going to have the counter-striking too much, but no. Even though Fiziev was on the front foot, Rufy was doing the counter-striking, and he was piecing him up. Fiziev really didn't have too many clean shots, and then whenever Rufy dropped him in the second round with, what was it, an overhand? Or I'm not sure what the punch was that dropped him, but there were a couple kicks that looked like they were almost doing shit. But I should have mentioned this earlier. Dan Hooker was landing some nasty body shots against Benoit. And then that's when Benoit really decided, all right, fuck this, I'm going for the takedown. But Rufy landed some really nice body shots on Fiziev as well. And I think that might have been the thing that was able to, I don't know, like catch Fiziev off guard. He's been hit to the stomach so many times. He's completely gassed, totally out of breath, needs to catch it. You know, when you get hit in the chest or you land on your back really hard and you're just wind is knocked out of you. Wouldn't be surprised if Rafael Fiziev wasn't quite there, but the wind got knocked out of him because of a nasty, I think it was a body kick. And Rufy drops him, gets the nasty TKO. What a performance. Did not think Rufy had it in him, but hey, he got the fucking dubski. Rufy got the fucking dubski. You know what? You know what, chat? You know what? Let's look at this. But no, so Rufy drops Fiziev with a big overhand, follows up with a hook. Fiziev falls onto his knees, ground and pound, can't defend himself. It's all over. What a performance from Mauricio Rufy. Improved quite significantly in between bouts, but hey, shit, maybe Benoit's just that fucking good. His fight against Moicano, though, I still can't wrap my head around his fight against Moicano. How do you get battered like that against Moicano? But do Dan Hooker, do Beneil Dariush like that, do Mauricio Rufy like that, do all these people who now Mauricio Rufy has like an actual legitimate win on his resume, a real TKO against someone who has been fighting contenders. Fiziev's last fight was against Gaethje, and he did better against Gaethje than he did Rufy. So how good is Benoit Saint Denis? You know, my heart says not very, but my eyeballs also say not very. But his record says pretty damn good. So I don't know. How good is Benoit Saint Denis? How good is he? Moving on, the most saddest fight of the card. We've got Taco Bell Tuivasa versus Taco Bell Teixeira. We've got two fucking fat boys duking it out, tits jiggling everywhere, having to do the tell me what our time went, if it was time well spent, just don't let me fall asleep. Fucking TJ Dillashaw edits, trying to cut down to heavyweight, trying to cut down to overweight division. Tai Tuivasa's too goddamn fat. He's too big of a boy. He needs to lock the fuck in. They were saying he was training with Cyril Gahn. I hope not, for Cyril Gahn's sake. That's all I have to say. They say Tai Tuivasa's training with Cyril Gahn. You don't think, oh damn, Ty's training with someone good. You think, ah shit, Cyril Gahn's about to get fucked up in his next fight. He's about to weigh in 500 pounds overweight. That's what you think when Tai Tuivasa's training with Cyril Gahn. What a sad, sad fight. Talison Teixeira wrestle fucks him for 2 rounds, basically. Ty's not able to do anything. Teixeira doesn't even really attempt too many good submissions. You know, he's going for shit here and there. Tries to go for, I want to say, tried to go for a rear naked, didn't have anything. Tried to go for an arm triangle, didn't have anything. But just laid on him. Definitely won round 1 and 2. Tai Tuivasa was picking him apart on the feet, though, in round 1. Round 3 rolls around. Tai Tuivasa is bombing him. Tai Tuivasa is doing crazy shit on the feet, destroying Teixeira. Looks like he can knock him out at any second. He's too fucking fat to continue fighting. So he kind of, I don't even want to say like takes him down, because it's not a takedown, but like they both drag each other to the ground. And then Ty's laying on top of him, throwing these while this is right after they had just been leaning against each other for 45 seconds on the cage. At one point, they separate, and this is really funny. Both of them put their hands on their hips, make direct eye contact with each other, and then you can tell that like pissed both of them off, where it's like, fuck, we're both out of breath, we're both fucking fat as shit, but neither of us can do anything to put the other guy away. And you could tell that pissed both of them off. It was really fucking funny. But no, he throws it away because he's too fat, can't get the finish in the 3rd round, even though he had more than enough opportunities to do so. Just lets it get away from him, you know? It's not a cheeseburger on the treadmill. It just or it is a cheeseburger on the treadmill. It just dangles in front of him, and he's never able to catch it. So, really disappointing performance from Tai Tuivasa. We needed to see a shoey. Talison Teixeira did not impress me. I'm not impressed by your performance. Had some really shitty grappling against a really shitty grappler. Tai Tuivasa can't grapple for shit. We've known this for years. And Talison Teixeira's grappling was not impressive. So, yeah, he definitely won the fight. You know, definitively, not close. Won the fight, won round 1 and 2, but this guy is not a real prospect. This guy's going to get fucked up by Josh Hokett. Moving on, we've got Mike Quillen Sal Killed versus Jamie Malarkey. Another minority defeated. One of my own. A man after my own heart. Jamie Malarkey, a fellow ginger. Everyone's calling him a fellow ginger. This man does not have red hair. All right, this is a fucking daywalker, okay? This man is a daywalker. He is not a ginger. He is a daywalker. But whatever. Quillen Sal kills a ginger, allegedly, and gets it done round 1 via submission. Shows that, hey, he's actually a grappler first, because barely even showed any striking. There were very few striking exchanges. Yeah, 18-6. And most of those were strikes on the ground. So got the takedown real quickly, got the back. I want to say it was a rear naked, I think, that he wraps it up real quick. Jamie Malarkey can't do shit. Quillen Sal Killed, give him someone ranked. Give him, who's at the bottom of the rankings of lightweight? I don't know. But yeah, give him someone ranked at the bottom of the rankings. Quillen Sal Killed's the real fucking deal. He's knocking people out, and he's choking people out. What a goat. What a fucking goat. Moving on. Billy Elicana versus Junior Tafa. Oh, okay. But my record, though. I got 0-3. Oh, fuck. 0-4. 1-4. I, I'm counting this one. I'm 2-3. Okay, I'm counting this one for myself because no, I can't do that. I'm 1-4. 2-4. 3-4. 3-5. 4-5. 4-6. 5-6. 6-6. 6-7. Ooh, 6-7. 6-7. 6-7. 6-7. I went 6-7 on the card. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna fucking rope after this. All right, Cool and Sal Killed gets it done now. Moving on to Junior Taffa versus Billy Elicana. Junior Taffa needs to be cut from the UFC, man. He can't do shit in the grappling. It was, it was close on the feet. As soon as the takedown happened, it was over. Billy Elicana was like, "Wow, this is a close fight on the feet. Maybe I should try and mix it up." Oh, okay. Let me decide to win now. Dang, this is a close fight on the feet. Okay, I think I want to win now. Goes for the takedown, gets the submission immediately. I mean, he was shooting more takedowns earlier in the fight, but they weren't good shots, you know? They weren't smart shots. They were just kind of like, oh shit, Junior Taffa's retarded, can't defend a takedown. Let me shoot this retarded takedown. His last one was a good shot. And then it was Jover after that, you know? Junior Taffa cannot do anything in the grappling. Send him to Ryzen 2-3 years and forget. Moving on, we have Cam Roston versus Cody Brundlage. I did not watch this fight. I was going and getting Taco Bell whenever this shit happened. But I knew Cam Roston was going to get the dub. Last thing I saw, Cody Brundage got kicked in the nuts. There is not a single fight that is normal for this guy. Gets kicked in the nuts, gets fouled, gets fucking headbutt knocked out. There is not a single fight that is normal for him. His last normal fight was against fucking Bot Nickel. And that wasn't even a normal fight because Bot Nickel was playing with his food. So Cody Brundlage, I don't know why you're still in the UFC. That was bad. That was not a good. I'm looking at the numbers. That was bad. But yeah, saw that he got kicked in the nuts in the first round. Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finney. An absolutely embarrassing performance from Torres Finney. What does he do? Torres Finney, what does he do? 151-42? Oh, I knew that he was getting pieced up on the feet. I knew that he wasn't throwing anything back. He was just standing there wobbling. Ow, I just hit my fucking knee. Oh, that hurt so bad. Oh, ooh, that hurt worse than anything Torres Finney threw all night. Oh my God, that hurt so fucking bad. Torres Finney didn't throw shit all night. Just stumbled around, getting wobbled. Oh my God, I feel like that one Peter Griffin. Ah, ah, ah. That's how I feel right now. Holy fuck, that hurts so bad. But yeah, Torres Finney didn't do anything. He didn't make the UFC after, like, what was it, 2 or 3 Dana White Contender Series fights, that he didn't do anything in those fights either. He didn't do anything in his UFC debut, and then now he didn't do anything in this fight either. He doesn't do anything. He not a good fighter. I wanted funny build guy. I wanted guy with, funny trapezius muscles to be a real character in the UFC roster. He's not. I genuinely would not be surprised if he got cut from the UFC roster after this. Torres Finney is not a UFC caliber fighter. Moving on. Jonathan Mikalev versus Oban Elliott. RIP MMA Guru's friend got completely choked out. Started spazzing out on the ground like Bryce Mitchell after getting choked out. Not a good look. Good job on Jonathan Mikalev though. Got the takedown. It was pretty close on the feet to begin with. I thought Oban was looking better on the feet though, but once it got taken to the ground, it was like watching a snake devour a mouse. You know what I mean? It was really long. It was really drawn out. But it was very violent. It was very not actually violent, but it resulted in the death of Oban Elliott. Couldn't escape it. He got choked the fuck out. I want to say it was a an arm triangle, but like a one from a weird angle. So Jonathan Mikalev kills MMA Guru's childhood friend. Hate to see it, but he gets the dub nevertheless. Moving on, we've got these fuck ass, horrible, horrible, horrible early prelims. I wanted Mauger to win. Um, this was a complete robbery, absolute robbery. The Mauger did win, but I don't know. I guess Aussie privilege? Question mark. But no, Yeezaw definitely won that. Majority decision, bullshit. That was fucking bullshit. I mean, just look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. Had it, he had a knockdown. He did not. He had 3 takedowns. He outstruck him. How does he lose that fight? That was bullshit. That was a robbery if I've ever seen one. This fight, honestly, nothing memorable about it. Boring as shit. I don't remember anything about it. This fight, honestly, I don't remember anything about these 3 fights. This one I know ended in a TKO because I'm reading it right here, but I don't remember anything else about it. And I don't remember anything else about this. But, nevertheless, thank you all for watching. UFC 325 was a banger. It was a mid card. How did I went 6 and 7 after going 9 and 2 last card. So, quite a step down after popping off on the first card of the year. This card didn't do the best, but you know, you can't win them all. Volk is still champ. We are going to fight Mosvar Evloev next. We are going to we are going to get the dub back for losing against Islam Makhachev. And we are going to retire out on top. Volk is featherweight GOAT, undeniably. You know, unless Ilya Taporia decides to move back down, but that's probably not happening. Diego Lopes, you hate to see it for him in his career because he's going to get frozen out of the title picture for a while until Volk retires. But he might get the first title shot. Dude, imagine if they run Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopes for the vacant belt. That'd be crazy. Would not be surprised if they did, though. But, you know, it was a solid card. I'd give it a 6 out of 7. Or, no, probably 6.7 out of 10. It was okay. It was a solid card. Volk got the dub. That's the main thing. We did it. Fiziev lost. Benoit, the Frenchman, won. So, you know, not everything was a dub. But overall, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, tap into the collab video between me and Kobe Shinobi over on the main channel. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.